I'm Sean.
Hi, Sean.
From CinemaBlend. Oh, sure. Sorry, she's directing you.
Hey, don't be sorry.
Dude, I'm
I
so...
get it. We all have our side, you know what I mean?
This one's mine.
Look at that.
How's that?
Oh, you're damn right that's your side. Look at that.
I watch Endgame probably once a week.
Oh, really?
My favorite line is still...
Oh, you missed the first time. Then you got them both the second time.
You got them both the same.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
I'm gonna ask you this one time.
How much of this story is going to be about the search for Gamora?
Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
We find Gamora very quickly.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes. Okay. Not like too quickly, but you see it in the Hall H footage that's where we pick up Quill as he's dealing with the loss of this person who does not know who he is. This is all post-blip, post-Endgame, and the love of his life just doesn't know him. So he's dealing with that reality, and that's a really tough place for him to be emotionally, and leaves the Guardians of the Galaxy vulnerable.
This is the one? Seriously? Your choices were him or a tree.
Karen, how are you? Good to see you.
This looks amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's an incredible t-shirt. I don't know what it is. Oh,
It's Optimus Prime.
oh, sorry. You say it as if like, you should know that.
Okay, so I get one question with you.
Oh, okay.
I've always wanted to know this
Okay.
because I watch Endgame like once a week.
Do you?
I do, I love it. Oh, it's my favorite movie of all time.
Watch all the time. Audience reactions to Endgame.
Aren't they amazing?
They're the best, especially when he's like, Avengers, assemble, and then the whole crowd is like, woo!
Incredible. Okay, but here's what I want to know. Nebula killed Nebula. Do you deal with the impact of that at all? The psychology of Nebula killing Nebula.
I think it was actually a very cathartic experience for her, like a positive experience. It was like saying goodbye to the previous version of who she used to be, which was a very like angry, bitter, resentful person. And she's like making space for this new character that has experienced love and has the capacity to actually show love towards other people.
Can't wait to see how that develops.
What's up, buddy?
How
Good
are
to see
you,
you, man. How are you?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good. Yeah, this is so exciting.
I was doing great.
I want to know if you're writing on Peacemaker and being able to go hard R is going to affect at all the tone of the humor you're bringing to the third Guardians, or are they separate entities?
Totally separate entities. I'm completely true to what the characters are and what the story is. And this is darker Guardians. I will say it's a much darker movie than the first two movies, but it's also an emotional movie. So it isn't darkness without that. It's a story about these characters who we've come to know very well, and we get to really see where they're going and where they've been going all along since the beginning of this story.
Showtime, a-holes.
So the buzz out of the panel was Baby Rocket.
Yeah.
That is true.
This is you, I would assume.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
That is also true.
What can you tell me about this transformation? A new toy for you to play with.
Oh my gosh, it is really beautiful. It's really wonderful that how we are incorporating Rocket's backstory into the story that we're telling, and it's tricky.
Well, I didn't ask to get made. I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
You got a tiny animal, and so we're like doing our best to put that together and portray that in like a conscientious and which is hard, but I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of the work we did.
Are you crying?
Hi, Pom. How are you? Nice
Good, and you? Nice
Wonderful.
to meet you.
Yeah, so with Guardians 2, you were the new member of the family.
Yes.
How did it
And
feel?
now there's new members of the family, and I'm not the new one anymore.
So did they come to you and say, how do we fit in?
No, but they fit in. We're cool, We just embrace them within the family. Yeah.
How do you recapture that vibe when everybody gets back on set? Is it just immediately plugged right back into it with everyone?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just like, you enter in the, James Gunn's music, it's like his scripts are so good. I feel so lucky to be a part of this franchise of these movies,
Can you hint at what we can expect to see from Mantis?
Yeah, you see her being stronger, being louder, and you see different things. And you see some action too, which is really cool.
Kick names, take ass.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Will, how are you? Nice to see you, man.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're good.
I am a huge Adam Warlock fan.
Oh, awesome.
Cannot wait to see his version in the MCU.
Oh, cool.
What can you tell me about his origin? We saw it very briefly at the end of Guardians 2. What more can you let me on about?
Yeah, so obviously the end of Guardians 2, his kind of birth, if you like, is teased with that cocoon. And, I got to be careful wandering into spoiler territory, but I think the third installment, shows him kind of orientating himself in the world, trying to work out right and wrong, as a kind of newborn might. Trying to work out the rules of the world that he finds himself in, and it's kind of a self-development story, which is cool.
Are we doing like an anti-hero type thing or a full-blown hero?
I mean, listen, that might be saying too much. I don't even know if Adam knows himself, but that's all to come.
When they see what I have created here, their wrath will dissipate.
And I love to meet you also. So the High Inquisitor, I thought I was going to see you in costume when you showed up.
The High Evolutionary doesn't just put on his clothes for everyone. Do you know what I mean? You got to pay a premium. I wasn't just going to do that. Yeah.
What can you tell me about his motivations?
I think in his head he believes he's doing the best thing for the humankind, which all sort of narcissists and sociopaths do. They don't really think they're doing anything wrong, and they feel entitled to do what they do. So in many ways, he's a weirdly attraction about him because he's hugely intelligent and hugely charismatic, but he's a complete, I don't know if I can swear here, but you know what I mean. He's a complete piece of shit. And that combination is always fun to play, right? And it's always fun to watch because do you love him? Do you hate him? How much do you hate him? How much do you love him? Do you find yourself being drawn to that, Yeah.
Talk to me about just James's dialogue switch over from Peacemaker to Guardians in tone and delivery. Is there any difference in it? Do you find a special nuance between one or the other?
Well, with this character, it's so different to anything that was in Peacemaker. And I think James, I don't know how much of the dialogue because he wrote most of it without ever having met me and then tweaked some things after he met me. And I think this guy is very different. There's nothing of Mern that I played in Peacemaker in this guy, apart from me playing it. And that's what James can do. He can hit you emotionally, make you laugh and stuff, but his strength is really character. People think because of the genre and it's so funny, it's all about plot and you know what I mean? But James focuses on character, and this character was so unique. He came to me straight away as soon as I read the script. And so for me, it was a completely different beast from, Peacemaker.
We're all dying to see what came out of it. So knowing that this is the end of this iteration, what do you remember about your last day of filming?
I think I gave a speech to our crew, to our cast, to James. Just remember being overcome with emotion and, the feelings of gratitude and the blessings of having James as our director on this film and all three films. He's an auteur and a visionary, and we're just so lucky that he was with us and that Disney brought him back to be our director. And so I just remember just the kind of tsunami of gratitude.
It had to mean everything to be able to finish with him.
It literally meant everything, man. Yeah.
I heard you talking about the last day on set. I'd more rather know about the last page you wrote in the script when you finally put it down and said, I'm done with it.
I never put it down, man. I never put it down. I'm constantly retooling stuff, not in a big way because I've had the basic script for years, but I'm always rewriting stuff. I'm always writing down new lines that I throw the cast while we're shooting, just constantly throwing them new lines because I have stuff in my mind that I like, and I know it's going to be better if I just throw it to them and they say it as opposed to them reading it and rehearsing it. So yeah, I'm always writing.
I never want to take for granted the fact that we got you to come back and that you got to close this off.
I will never take it for granted.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Thank you, man.
This is the end of the Guardians, but is it the beginning of Adam Warlock's journey?
You know, I don't know. I certainly hope so. Super sad to think about the idea that Guardians is ending. But yeah, you know, hopefully Adam goes on to have some more adventures, and I'm certainly down if Marvel will have me.